everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today we're going to go over all the games I've beat recently. So I've beat another 3 games, and I'm so excited to talk about them because all 3 of them are actually really good, and one of them might surprise you. Of course, before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed if you're not, hit like, and tell me what games you've been playing recently. Okay, so let's just get right into it with the very first game of the list, and that is Emio the Smiling Man, which is part of the Famicom Detective Club series. Now, this is a really cool game because it's Nintendo's first M-rated game. It's not the first M-rated game on a Nintendo console. It's Nintendo made it, and it's their first M-rated game. So really cool in 2024 that we got it, and actually really cool that we got a physical copy of it. And I have a feeling this may become harder to get down the road, so it's definitely a game that I wanted to make sure that I got right away. Just who knows, right? So what exactly is this game? Well, it's a visual novel, but it is solving a murder mystery, and it is actually really good. I will be honest here, guys, and say that because I like this genre a lot, and I like being freaked out, and I want some tension, and I want, like, you know, uneasiness from like a visual novel like this, I'll admit that it didn't give me enough, like, suspense. It didn't give me enough creepiness. I wanted way more creepiness because the idea is super creepy. Basically, you're this detective who's not part of the police, and you're kind of trying to help solve this murder mystery, but it's whoever is murdering these people basically leaves a paper bag on their head with like a smiling face, and it's super creepy. So it's based off like sort of an old legend called Emio the Smiling Man, and you kind of have to figure that out, see if it's related, see who's murdering these people basically. And it is definitely, like, you know, suspenseful and creepy and thrilling, but it just wasn't creepy enough. I really want something that's like, ugh. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the creeper here, okay? But I'm just saying it didn't give me the creepiness factor that I wanted. So, you know, a game that's an 8 or 9 out of 10 wasn't a 10 out of 10 for me because of that. Now, it did have a good ending. It did have a good twist. I'm happy with it. The game is solid, so I do recommend it. Now, if you like games, you know, where you're solving a murder or you're solving a mystery of some sort, this is a game where you do pretty much just reading. However, you do point and click and read something to do with that. So if you're at like a crime scene, you will be clicking various things to find out evidence information, and it's very interesting. I was engaged the whole time. I'm just the psycho who wants something a little bit, you know, more macabre, more weird, I guess. So yeah, it wasn't maybe, I don't want to say gross enough, but I just wanted a little bit more creepy. Now, I finished Emio when I was on vacation in LA, and I thought, I don't know if I should start something big right now. I don't know. So I just decided, you know what? I have a game that I haven't played. It's been sitting on my shelf for a couple years, and I feel like apparently it's not very long. I should get to it, and that game is Kaze and the Wild Masks. I'm going to say it right here, guys. This is one of the best 2D platformers I've ever played, personally. Holy smokes. This is like the biggest love letter to Donkey Kong Country. So if you're like me and you are starving for a Donkey Kong Country game, if you haven't played this or you haven't heard of it or whatever, get on it. This is literally Donkey Kong Country, but you're this dude. So if you like those games and you like 2D platformers and very fast-paced, you know, platformers, holy smokes, check this out. It's so good. Every level I was like, oh my god, that's like a Donkey Kong kind of thing. Or that reminds me of, you know, the minecart level, even though it's not using minecart, but your character is moving and you can't stop them kind of thing. And it's very fast-paced, very high energy, you know, intense anxiety platforming is what you're going to get here. I was honestly just so surprised with this one. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. Everyone said, oh, it's kind of like Donkey Kong. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And then I played it and it's like, wow, this game is intense. I mean, the final boss, wow, it's just an experience, guys. This game is so good. If you like the 3D platformers, you know, I recently played Astrobot and I've been recommending that. And you know, great. It's a great 2024 game. But I have to say, if you want 2D platforming, wow. I mean, yeah, obviously I have to play more, but Kaze and the Wild Masks, highly recommend. I had so much fun with it. It is fantastic. You know, visually it's really cool, but you know, the gameplay here is what matters, and it is next level. Okay, so then I beat Kaze and the Wild Masks and decided, okay, let me play, you know, something on my Portal. Let me play something on my PS5. Let me play something kind of short. And I decided, yes, I did. I had to do it, and I wanted to check it out to have my own opinion, and that would be Forspoken. I'm just gonna say it right off the bat. The game is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not the best game I've ever played, but guys, it is not the worst game I've ever played. The hate that game got, I'm sort of confused. I'll be honest with you. Now, I posted on Twitter and other social media things that, you know, I played Forspoken and I thought it was pretty good. And a lot of other people commented and said, yeah, I don't get the hate. I liked it too. So I'm like, okay, so I don't know what's going on, but the game obviously did not do well for Square Enix. It did not do well. And I thought, you know, I went into it sort of with this, it's probably gonna be mid. I think it's better than mid. It's better than just average. It's actually pretty solid. What's holding the game back, and I think what really turned off a lot of people, and it did with me at first, is the main character. Yes, she is very irritating. She is sort of a street kid, and she's from New York, and she basically drops the F-bomb in every sentence and is constantly swearing, and it is sort of a turnoff. It is. Because you're playing it, and as much as, like, I don't care about swearing, it's more, you know, is it appropriate in the moment kind of thing. And it kind of gets like, oh my God, like you're playing it and you're like, shut up. Can you not speak a sentence without saying the F word? Like, it is annoying. So I'm playing it, but then I kind of sort of look past that. And it's kind of neat. It's kind of an isekai game. She gets transported to another world that's very, like a very medieval world. And she has these powers. And, you know, she wants to get home, and sort of a Wizard of Oz thing. But then, you know, as a trade-off, she's trying to figure out how to get home. But then she has to kind of help them because their world is kind of crumbling and blah, blah, blah. It's actually kind of cool. They did a good job. I think visually it's pretty neat. The gameplay is fun. The music is really good. Like, there's not really a lot to hate, just the main character is kind of annoying. Now, when you think about her background and you think about her life, then you start to realize, well, honestly, if that was a real person, they probably would talk like that. And what's annoying is she talks like that in this medieval world that she gets transported to. And so it's annoying because she'll say things to them that they clearly do not understand because they're not from her time or world. So it's like, dude, use your brain and don't talk to them like that. But at the same time, you're like, I don't know. I feel like, not that she's stupid, but she doesn't probably have the smarts to maybe say certain things or think the way I'm saying right now. So after you kind of get over that, you're like, well, a character like that probably would talk like that. And then I kind of got over it. Now, just because a character, you know, who's from like the streets of New York is talking like that doesn't mean it's still not annoying. But I'm saying that it made sense. It wasn't like Princess Peach was saying the F word all the time, which you'd be like, what? But in this case, it kind of made sense. But yeah, her character is a little annoying, but you know what? She gets a lot better as the game progresses because she starts to grow as a person and a character in the game. And so yeah, you don't hate her as much. And at the end, I kind of liked her. So honestly, Forspoken, it's pretty good. So I do actually recommend it. If you're looking for something that's pretty short, you want like, you know, kind of a neat JRPG, something a little different. I mean, you've got a character who's American from New York. It's not your stereotypical like anime, Japanese kind of thing. I mean, give it a shot. I am not saying it's the best game ever here. I am not saying that Forspoken is, you know, God tier gaming here. Okay. I am saying though that I think it was treated unfairly. It's not that bad, and it's actually pretty okay. Like it's a decent game. I enjoyed my time with it. I don't think I would have wanted to spend like 50 hours with it, but I just did the main story. You know, it was about 12 hours or so, and I had a good time. So I can only give you my honest opinion here, but the game's pretty good. So those are my thoughts on the last 3 games I beat. And I'm getting excited because we are getting close to the end of the year, and I'm hoping to beat a few more and we can do a final one of these to wrap it up. But yeah, those are the last 3 games I've played, and they were all really good, especially Kaze and the Wild Masks. Huge surprise. I mean, wow, I was honestly just blown away by that game and how creative, but also, I don't want to say it's copying Donkey Kong Country, but like, clearly the people who made it love those games. And as someone who hasn't got a true Donkey Kong Country in quite some time, it's been like 10 years, it's great. It's fantastic. So all 3 of these games I do recommend, and I had a good time with them. So remember to tell me in the comments what games you've been playing lately, and of course, I'll see you guys in my next video.